Welcome to JM Clips. I'm Jared McIntyre, one of 3 people behind this channel, and today, the long-awaited Shelby Oakes movie review. If you watch all the other YouTube movie critics that wasn't Chris Stuckmann, who, by the way, made this movie, all of them seem to be portraying, hey, so in case you don't know, Chris Stuckmann, guy like one of us, turns on the camera as a young guy and goes, oh, whoa, I can film things, that's cool. Then he starts a movie review YouTube channel, kind of like this one, and it grows and grows and grows, and he's like an actual movie critic. He said, hey, YouTube fan base, I'm doing a crowdfunder for just like this little movie idea I have. It was highly successful, let's take it seriously. All of a sudden, we are getting Paper Street Pictures involved, and then all of a sudden, we're slapping Mike Flanagan's name on it. Boom, theatrical release, who knew it? Took a long time. This thing was in production during COVID. This is the accumulative essence product of many decades of passion. If you watch any interview with Chris Stuckmann, anytime he's on film talking about this movie, it is a man who is living in gratitude, and that's awesome. If you watch Jeremy Jahns and a lot of the other top YouTube critics, they seem to be portraying, hey, in order to critique this movie objectively, I have to forget the fact that Chris Stuckmann is the voice behind this, and that it wasn't made from a YouTuber. No, you should not forget that. That is part of the experience, and it is amazing. With that said, let's address some things that Jeremy Jahns said that I'm like, I think you're right on, but you're also missing some of the picture. One thing he said was that the husband role could have been eliminated, and he's just wrong about that, and here's why. By the way, spoilers. Okay, I'm not going to give it all the big stuff away, but there will be some character context in what I'm about to say if you have not seen the movie, okay? Here's why the husband role should be there and is needed. There's a moment where Mia is telling her husband, hey, there's something still going on. She's breaking down. There's this thing I saw as a kid, and I just thought it was nothing until, boom, I found this new piece of evidence that shows something mysterious, potentially supernatural, is afoot. He's in disbelief. He's had his whole life robbed. There's already been context related if they wanted kids years ago, but now that Mia's lost her sister, Riley, that life that he had envisioned died many moons ago. Anyway, she's telling him all this stuff, laying out all the pictures, and all of a sudden the camera cuts back, and we see the crib that was never used. The boxes, the baby toys, never played with. And he says, where did the years go? When I saw that, I was like, oh, that is why he's here. To remind me, like, this guy's mourning a life that he never had. This constant obsession, anxiety, little moment that we're having has been his whole life, you know? Now, with that being said, do I think Chris Stuckmann could have leaned more into that? Yes. Another moment that I think Stuckmann was trying to portray this is when Mia is like, just like locked in on the little TV watching all this old footage, and we see the husband's silhouette in the background just like watching her, and then he walks off. That's another moment I think Stuckmann was trying to get at, is this husband is isolated. Mia is not at all present. It's desolate. By the way, if you hear something behind me, it's my hot water heater. But that is the emotional weight in the writing. That's why he's there. And it's needed. It just was not fleshed out enough. If you watch any of these YouTube critics, they always say that the weak point of this film is the screenplay. And they're right and wrong in this sense. They always say that as a blanket statement, as if the writing is bad. Not true. If you've seen the movie and you know the critiques you have of it, instead of the movie, imagine you were reading the movie as a book. It totally changes. It totally changes. The things that we go, why was that there? Why did the glass on the window crack? Why was there fog? Why did the dogs do this at that time? All of those things, if I'm just reading it in a book format, I go, ooh, creepy. It's good writing. It just was probably not tailored towards the cinematic medium. Probably because this is a directorial debut. So I think we need to say, hey, yes, screenplay could have been a weak point, but is the writing bad? No. We just need stewardship towards the screen. I don't want to spend too much time diving into this because you already have guys that do that. I'm stoked on it. I think it was a great movie overall. Could I sit here and break things down that don't make sense, or I wish they would have done it differently here? Yes. Am I being biased by saying I still think it was great and like I'm totally stoked on it? Maybe a little, but I think that's part of the point. But like, I'm biased because that's what I like, and there's a reason I like it. The last critique thing I'll say is that I watched this with 3 other guys, some good friends of mine, and we were all breaking it down on the way home. Here's some more context towards the end of the movie. Okay, if you've seen it, if not, I won't give away big things, but I will be giving away some context. I think people would have had, the people who are going hard at this movie, I think they would have less ammunition if, one, from the prison sequence on, get rid of the dogs, get rid of the hellhounds, keep everything the same. When Mia goes into the basement, that's all I'm saying. There's something there that she is a good thing, and then there's a silhouette in the background of the evil. Keep it all the same, but once you get to there, if the movie would have flipped back to the documentary style footage that the first like 15-20 minutes begins with, and it's just kind of showing the aftermath of what happened after this point in the narrative, I think it's all fine. Because all the things that I think these critics are going, that doesn't exactly solve, that answer doesn't solve my question, or it's too pointed here, or too broad stroked here. I think if you switch the medium to a documentary, like it began with, it's like I don't need the question answered in that way anymore. I'm like just going, oh, the horror. I'm taking it in through a new lens. It's a good film. I can't wait to see what Chris Stuckmann does in the future. I hope that he has a future in filmmaking. I really hope he does. And Chris, if you're watching this, which I realize is so slim, but I've actually had like 2 filmmakers of these little videos I do see the video. One was like an actual theatric release, like nationwide thing, and the director like saw my thing out of 70 people who saw it. So Chris, on the off chance that you get to see this, here's a little snippet of your goal that you've stated many times.
Whatever it is, that is my ultimate goal with Shelby Oaks, that I can return a little bit of that inspiration that I've always felt seeing other filmmakers succeed, seeing other filmmakers release their movies. If I can give a little bit back into the world and inspire some of you to try to make your own film, I will be the happiest man alive.
And I just want to say, Chris, you have done that. I feel like me and you have totally different worldviews, and that's okay. But as the guy that aspires to make Christian cinema, but good cinema, you've helped me think it's more realistic. And not that I can land a theatrical release, but that I can do it proudly, and that there is maybe more opportunity than I originally thought. So go check out Shelby Oaks by Chris Stuckmann.